Welcome back to WIS News Primetime. Amid an ongoing stream of violence nationwide, gun safety remains a top concern of parents as they send their children to school every day. Here in the Midlands, in honor of the 6th anniversary of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting in Parkland, Florida, groups of young students in our community are using their voices to come together to bring more attention to their own safety concerns. Earlier today, the Students Demand Action Group at Dreher High School hosted what they call a call to action assembly. Joining us live tonight in our studio, two of the driving forces behind the group's efforts, two young leaders, Sabrina Palmer and Aiden Dong. Thank you both for being here with us.
Thank you for inviting us.
So Sabrina and Aiden, I always like to start the conversation with why. Why this issue matters to you, Sabrina?
So our generation is being ravaged by this epidemic of gun violence, and we cannot stand by while the legislators are trying to take away gun safety laws that are working to keep us safe.
Aiden, what about you? What is your why, your passion behind being involved with Students Demand Action?
I mean, Sabrina really covered it. Every day we see here reports, just today in Kansas City, of mass shootings and deaths across the country. Laws like the one being proposed are associated with an increase in crime and homicides in other states that have passed them, and I just don't think it makes sense to pass weaker gun laws now instead of stronger ones in the face of this epidemic.
So Sabrina, tell us about this event, the call to action that you held at your school today. I know it was held at Dreher High School. Media coverage was not allowed, and it was completely voluntary for the student body, but you really were encouraged by the turnout.
Yeah, we had about 250 to 300 students come. It was awesome to have this support because we also had the sheriff and police chief come, as well as Tyler Bailey and a Moms Demand Action volunteer to come speak about her story and how her son was lost from gun violence. And it was just very heartwarming to see that people feel the same way as us, that this permitless carry bill doesn't make any of us feel safer.
And Aiden, we've actually done a lot of coverage about the permitless carry bill. The House did not accept the changes that the Senate made, and so Mary Green has been covering the future of the bill and where it stands now over at the State House. But Chief Holbrook, I know, was at the assembly today. You said Sheriff Lott was there as well?
Yes, ma'am.
And so I know that a number of law enforcement officers have actively lobbied against this bill. What did they share with you all at the assembly today?
So their greatest concern was that it would put guns in the hands of untrained individuals. A gun is a deadly weapon. It's a lot like a car, and we don't give anybody a car and let them go where they please with it until they have a driver's license and have been properly trained. And so really the current CWP law is a lot like that, in that it requires you to have training and obtain a permit before you can carry that weapon in public.
When you look at the group Students Demand Action, I mean, a lot of people can have concerns, right? But there's a difference between discussing your concerns, you know, among your friends, among your family, and actively working to bring about change. Aiden, what do you want, what example are you trying to set for other young people in your generation?
So I think it's really important for people my age to realize that we can make a difference and we have a voice, because we're the generation that is going to have to grow up facing these new laws and facing these changes that lawmakers are enacting. And I think it's important for us to contact our representatives, contact our legislators, and make sure they understand that we're opposed to this legislation because it makes South Carolina a more dangerous place to live.
And Sabrina, you know, we cover, you know, the primaries are going on. We had the Democratic primary, now the Republican primary, and voter apathy in some of these recent elections has been a real issue, you know, of people just not participating in the process, people not believing that their one voice matters. What is it that you want to say, not just to students, but to parents and teachers, administrators, everybody in our community who cares about this issue?
I want to say that every voice matters, every vote matters. Go out, register yourself to vote on this issue, and as you can see by just us working up from this event, getting it all together, we're making a difference now and getting to have our voice heard.
And so how can people get involved if they want to support this effort? And it's a fair question. You know, I tell people all the time, especially when it comes to voting, you don't have to be an expert on every issue. You know, there's so many different issues where you can evaluate a candidate, but pick one or two issues that are really important to you and find out where those people running for office, where those elected leaders stand on those issues. For people who resonate with what they're hearing you and Aiden talk about tonight, how can they get involved and offer support?
So with Students Demand Action, Every Town, and Moms Demand Action, you can sign up as an affiliate to the group on their website, and then you can be told about local events that you can be a part of. As well, you can also go to your state's legislator, find your legislator, and then send them a message saying that you won't stand for this permitless carry bill. And you can text SC to 433.
We've got the flyer. We'll put
Yeah,
the
you
flyer
got
up for
it.
you just a second because you sent me that flyer earlier. Aiden, I'll give you the last word because as we have been covering this bill and its movement through the State House, inevitably we always hear from viewers who are saying, wait a minute, I didn't know that was happening. And, you know, when legislation passes, you know, I'm not going to say it's too late, but the time to be active is on the front end. So I'll give you the last 10 seconds to make that plea.
So I'd really like students to see this and know that they can be involved today and take action now by contacting their legislator because, as you said, you have to take action now and not when legislation is passed. Thank you.
It's important for all of us to be involved in the government and our political process. Thank you both for your leadership.
Thank you, ma'am.
There is the graphic. We got it up. Thanks to our producer, Justin, always on point, sharing the information. And this interview will be posted on WISTV.com as well. Thanks so much to you both.
Thank you, ma'am.
Adam?
All right, we've got clear skies and a very nice evening.